There goes that old washed up Bobcat. Old washed up T190 on its last little leg. That's right. Washed up, y'all. Oh, y'all. I said, oh, it is Saturday morning, man. 8:30. It seems like there's a lot of people, and it ain't that it's hurting me or nothing. It just offends me a little bit. It seems like there's a lot of people that don't really get the vibe of the whole channel. The whole vibe of this channel is coming from nothing and the struggle of not having nothing to having something, and the process, right? You know, guys come in the comments and they want to try to compare me to a multi-million-dollar business, and they want to try to compare me to what they think in their head is normal. There's a couple of critical things that the basics of the channel is about. The basics of the channel is about not having nothing, right? And wondering where your life is going in every facet. I'm talking about mentally, personally, professionally, you know, and where do you see yourself at in 10 years, right? It's about doing what is right based on what you know. It's about working hard, not beating nobody, and coming up and being better today than I was yesterday. I'm just, you know, I'm just part-time out here, you know, working probably 30 hours a week or so in my business, and, you know, doing what I do. And I try to share that with the viewers. Of course, there's always going to be haters, and that's okay, you know, but these haters try to twist my words, right, to fit what they think I am. I ain't got no reason to lie, you know. I have a guy, apparently he has problems already because he says, I don't know if I believe him or not, but whatever. He says that he had to change his name because he got canceled or for bullying or something. Dude, that says something about you. You know, I've been doing YouTube for quite a few years now, and I've said some pretty outlandish stuff on YouTube. And I've come at some other YouTube guys pretty hard over time. And I've never had one iota of getting canceled or bullied, or, you know, being a bully. And actually to the point of where they cancel me. So you might need to look in the mirror at that, because if that's true, you're probably a bully on other people's channel, and they the ones that called you on it. Because the guys on my channel, they look at you just like you a dumbass. You just like that, you know, mosquito that just won't go away, right? That just wants to nick pick. The guy had come on the channel yesterday, I think. So he says, Ray, I'm no longer necessarily commenting on you. It's more toward my viewers. So he's talking to y'all. He's really talking to me, okay? And so he's telling y'all, he's trying to bust me out, if you will, right? And there's nothing to bust out, but he's trying to undermine me and what I tell you guys, which is kind of a bitchy way of doing things, you know. That's what sneaky bitches do, right? but it's okay. I'm you know, whatever. Because I am what I am, who I am, and where I am, right? It's an open book here. So he's telling y'all, and me at the same time, I guess. He's saying, you know, you can't afford a new skid steer. You were all about buying one, then you started crying about the price and blaming the dealership for not calling you when one was ready. No salesman is going to skip over a big sale. Okay, let's break this down. Y'all know I like to break down dumbassness. Okay. I can't afford a skid steer if I want one. Anybody that knows the basic fundamentals of the channel has been watching it for a while. Y'all see that I don't live, you know, beyond my means. And my whole channel is about, you know, being smart with your money. What do you think I do with 20 grand a month? If I don't save it, what do I do with it? You don't see me buying anything. Why ain't I bought a new house? Why ain't I done this? Why ain't I done that? So I'm just pointing these obvious things out to people that really pay attention. Some people are so wanting to hate Ray that they miss the whole thing, and it makes them look stupid to people that are really watching the channel and the people that are kind of in the same boat I'm in. So, you know, any of us can afford to buy a skid steer, okay? Anybody can. So if you put your priorities, you know, I'm sure there's, you know, a number of people out there that spend money on something that they could do without, right? Some people, you know, and I've said it a million times, spend money on boats and jet skis and Harley Davidsons and, you know, big fancy houses and you know, all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look at the basic fundamentals of my channel, y'all don't see me spending my money on all that, but y'all see me working every day. Y'all think I'm out here working and I'm not making money? I mean, come on, man. That's what these haters think. So he says, you were all talking about buying, you know, when my skid steer caught on fire, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to buy another skid steer. And I already knew which one I really wanted. And I can put I quote up that they sent me. I mean, I did a video over the whole process, and I put as much information out there that I could to try to be, you know, transparent as I could without showing my social security number, my date of birth, and all that. There it is, y'all. I believe that machine's about had it. About had it. No way I'm gonna finish this job. I smell wires burning and everything.
Well, it could be. It could be.
You smell the wiring burning?
You know, hydraulic fluid and all that stuff. Yeah, you had a hydraulic alarm break. That's why it's so much fluid.
Man, it was burning though, wasn't it?
Doesn't smell like, well, it's because it's hot.
Oh my God. I took the key out of it and it kept running. That tells me, when I took the key out. So that tells me this electrical's, it's gonna be, it ain't gonna be worth saving, I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
But when my machine caught on fire, let me break this shit down, okay? Let me go on and read the comment, and then I'll break it all the way down. And, you know you can't afford a new skid steer. You were all about buying one. Then you started crying about the price and blaming the dealership for not calling you when one was ready. Okay, let's break that part down first. There was supposed to be one ready for me in November of last year, okay? Keep in mind that my skid steer caught on fire, I want to say in April of last year. Not this year, but last year. So 18 months ago, my skid steer caught on fire, okay? Well, when you have a skid steer that catches on fire, and you have over $30,000 worth of attachments, and there's a lot of unknowns from that day of the skid steer catching, my skid steer catching on fire. A lot of unknowns that I knew nothing about, okay? So the smart person is going to be, okay, I'm going to buy another skid steer. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to buy another skid steer, because mine's on fire and I don't know what the hell done happened to it. I don't know if it's gonna blow up tomorrow, or if it's gonna catch on fire again, or whatever, right? So y'all know I took it to the dealer. They went through the machine. They fixed the thing that caused the fire, which was just a hydraulic line close to the muffler. That's what caused the fire. I got video, dude. But it did not burn up anything major. It didn't burn through any wiring harness or nothing. It did char a lot of stuff. But here I am, I don't know nothing about a fire and what it can do, and I know there's a whole lot of stuff on a Bobcat that can go wrong. A lot. And I've faced a lot of it with this particular machine, but nothing really major. The most major thing I've ever fixed on this Bobcat right here is when it caught on fire, they replaced the hydraulic fan, the cooling fan. $2,500. That's the most I've ever spent on a skid steer. Everything else has been headache type stuff, voltage regulator, starter, just things that go wrong with these machines, right? But let me get back to this. And then so Takeuchi, and then, I'm gonna go into it, y'all. So Takeuchi builds machines right here in my state. Right down about, well, hell, probably about 2-hour drive from here. Pendergrass, Georgia, I think. It's somewhere right down that way. And I want a TL8. I don't want a Bobcat. I don't want a Caterpillar. I like these machines, but they don't have everything that I want. I was quoted with a price. I'll try to find the quote. I got it in an email. And the quote clearly shows what a brand new TL8 will cost with everything that I wanted. I want to say, I think it was $69,000. So, okay, not a problem, right? I understand that the machines are going to cost a lot of money. I mean, you're talking to a dude that put $20,000 in cash for this machine I knew nothing about. I didn't know nothing about skid steers at all, and I put $20,000 in the street for this machine I got right here. So, and I didn't have any money. Never claimed to be Gucci. Never claimed to be none of that. But what I am and what I make is pretty freaking good for me and my lifestyle. Damn. So, they said that the machine will be ready last November. I was at the GIE. I did a video at the GIE of the exact machine that I thought that I was going to be getting, okay? Now, you can go back to the GIE and y'all can see where I did a video on the TL8. It's on my channel. Last October. And I'm talking to the guys at Takeuchi. So I go to the GIE event, the Greenscape, whatever you want to call it, up in Kentucky last year. I had not heard anything from them. I had not, and when I got back at the end of October, I had not heard anything from them still. And they were saying November. But keep in mind, by this time, Bobby, the one I got right here that's paid for, it had been running great since it caught on fire and I replaced the fan. Not one break, it hasn't been in the shop one time since it caught on fire. Not once. It's had little issues, I mean, really not even a lot of little issues. I replaced the sprockets on it, which it needed that when I bought the machine. I replaced an idler on it, What else? I cracked the front plate by running the machine too hard over at that job, so I had to weld that front plate. What else? I haven't really had to buy a lot of mechanical things for the skid steer. I mean, on the grand scheme of things, okay, since it caught on fire. So it caught on fire last April. I went to the GIE in October. The new machine, they told me back in April of last year, right after my machine caught on fire, is when I started really looking for it. I was all gung-ho about it. But when I got back from Kentucky, I called the dealer. The dealer telling me, yeah, we're still on schedule, right? And I'm like, cool, let me know. He's like, cool. But by this time, my Bobcat had been running great all summer. I had made another $15,000 with the damn thing. And it's still earning. And I thought to myself, well, damn, they don't seem real eager to sell me a machine. I was approved for the financing. I was approved for $75,000 in financing. I got the paperwork. I wasn't even going to have to put no money down. These are facts. And this guy says that I was crying about the price. I knew the price of a new machine back in April, a week after my freaking machine caught on fire. I knew what I was no crying about it. I knew what it was. Nobody wants to spend $70,000 on a skid steer, but that's what they're worth. That all day long. They're worth more. Nobody's crying. People get confused crying and passion. I don't know. So he said I was crying about the price and then blaming the dealership for not calling me. I ain't blaming nobody. My thinking was, well, if my machine is running good, then why in the world am I going to run down a new machine? And I said it in quite a few videos. If the dealer contacts me for a machine, I'll buy it. But if he don't, then I won't. I said that in a bunch of videos. After I got back from the GIE last year. And just FYI, if there is a lack of machines, right, then the big companies, the big construction companies, they're going to get these machines before a little guy like me gets it. I don't care what anybody says. If the supply is not there, I'm not going to get a machine before, Brent Scarborough gets one or two. They're spending $10 million, $15, $20 million a year on equipment. They're going to take precedence over a guy like me or you. I'm just saying they are. And I don't know that that's what happened. That's just my speculation. I was approved for the financing. I don't know why. But I quit running. I quit after, when I talked to the dealer when I got back from the GIE, I quit running down the skid steer. I quit calling them or nothing. I said, well, and I said it in the video way back then. I said, if they call me, I'll buy it. If they don't call me, I won't. Because my skid steer is still earning and I don't have to pay nothing. So fast forward a whole nother year, right? Since the skid steer caught on fire, I have made over $35,000 with the skid steer, with mine. And we'll say, I put maybe $5,000 back in the machine. Yeah. But when a machine catches on fire, there's a lot of unknowns. And I didn't know that this machine would ever run again. I had no idea. Of course I'm gung-ho because I got attachments everywhere, and I can't even get all my attachments accumulated if I don't have a machine to go pick the attachments up. I'm gonna have to rent a machine at $500 or $600 a day just to pick up my attachments and get everything back home, because I had things strode out everywhere. And I got over 30,000 in attachments. I guess that's a lie too. I can show you, and I think I have. So when they didn't call me, I didn't care. I said, shit, my thinking was this: I'll just keep banking my money. I'll just keep banking. And that's what I've been doing. Banking the money. Every dollar that I made with the skid steer, I put in the bank for another skid steer. And I had a fund, a Fix Me skid steer fund already, because, I've had some problems with my Bobcat in the very beginning. But a lot of that was me not knowing what position to put the Bobcat in without tearing it up. I was having it doing all kinds of stuff that it shouldn't have been doing. But that's a whole nother video. They knew I wasn't a real buyer. Well, I don't know. Okay, what does that mean? I went through their financing. I was approved for the financing. I was going to put $20,000 down and sell my machine for another $20,000. So I was going to be at $35,000 or $40,000 in cash on a $70,000 machine. That means I'm financing $30K, give or take, right? But the reason I lost my gung-ho-ness about it is because they were being evasive about the machine availability. They wouldn't contact me. But that's on them. I was ready. I was correct. And I could buy one today if I wanted one. But my thinking keeps going back to, well, damn, I never thought, this is on a side note, between me and y'all, I never thought that this T190 would make it another year and a half after it caught on fire. I never thought that in a million years. I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that I'd be able to bank another 35 grand on the machine that's paid for before I had to buy another one. The notion that I can't afford a skid steer is ridiculous. And he says no salesman is gonna skip over a big sale. Look, man, I don't know what world you live in, but a $70,000 machine is not a big sale. Not on the equipment sales front. It's not. That's 70 grand for a brand new skid steer. That's the bottom price. You ain't gonna get one no cheaper than that. Not brand new. Not with tracks. I don't think you can get one cheaper. Not that I know of. What do I know? And then they go on to tell me what a broke business I really am, and all the demeaning things that they like to, that this dude likes to, But I don't know why you're trying to tell my subscribers how broke I am. So you're lucky I'm even letting you come into the comments and say stuff like that, because I could just block you. See, I'm letting you do that because I know you're not very smart. I'm allowing you to have a voice on my channel to show how ignorant you are, to show how out of touch with what's really happening you are. Just saying. But I want to go all the way back to the guy saying, I know that I can't afford a new skid steer. I don't even know what to say to that. What do you think I spend my money on, man? I mean, what high ticket items do I have that sucks up $20K a month, give or take? I don't have anything going out, y'all. I can break it down. I mean, if you're in business like I am, small business, I can tell you right off the top of my head what I got going out every month within a couple $100. Right off the top of my head. I don't have no debt. My business doesn't have any debt. This truck payment right here, what? $500 a month. The building, $208 a month. The new Exmark I just bought, it's like $223 a month, something like that. I pay $300 a month to make sure that I stay in the no interest, path. And I only owe, $8,000 or so on the new machine, on the new Exmark, and I owe $10,000 and some change on the building or something like that. Both of those things that I just said are interest free for 4 years. I said interest free for 4 years. The payments are so cheap, I don't even notice them. I don't even know what day they come out of the account. I don't even know. Because, So, my thinking is, if you're in business like me, and I'm not, I got a disclaimer, I'm not anybody special, unique, or needy, or any of those things. But my thinking is, if you're in business like I am, and you're in a spot in life where you don't have to pay out a lot, like I am, I just don't think that $20,000 in debt for my business is a lot of debt. I just don't think that. Now, when I got, we'll say $1,000 a month is what I have financed for the business. That's it. And it's interest-free stuff. Now, I am paying interest on this truck. I'm trying to think, and at the end of the day, you got to look at, okay, well, what does it cost me? Let's, instead of just throwing shade, let's look at the real numbers, because, see, numbers don't lie. Numbers have no feelings, right? So, it probably cost me, and this is a guesstimate, it probably cost me about $3,000 a month to live, okay? And then another $2,000 a month for the business and all that entails, insurance and, all that. So we'll say $5,000, $5,500 a month. We'll say $6,000 a month, okay? That's what it costs me to, make my house payment, pay all the household bills, the insurance, the business insurance, everything that in the building, the mowers, the man lift, all these things. Total living expenses, and this is what you gotta look at. Total living expenses, we'll say $6K a month. It's not that much, but we'll say that. If I'm making $20K a month, what do you think I'm doing with that other 14 or 15K every month? Every month? What do you think I'm doing with that? It's obvious do y'all see any special, unique toys or anything? Do y'all see a $80,000 Harley sitting in my garage? I don't know, man. I'm trying to find out why or what these folks are saying that would make them believe that I couldn't afford a skid steer. Could I afford a $2 million house? No, I couldn't. Okay. Can I afford an $80,000 skid steer? $100,000 skid steer? I could. I could actually go and sign my name and get a brand new skid steer without any money down. I said 0 money down. At the end of the day, it's costing me $6K, but I'm making $20K, sometimes more. So every month, and now it ain't always been like that. I ain't always made the money that I make now. I'll be honest. But I ain't always had the expenses I got now either. My expenses have went up. But if anybody that's really looking will see that the way that my expenses have went up, it's like going up steps. You start off with a push mower, you end up with a tractor mower, then you get your 0-turn commercial mower, and then you get another one, and then you get another trailer, and then you get another mower as you build up, and then you bank your money because you're not living high on the hog. My bills are the same now, as far as my house payment and my living bills are the same now as they was in 2008. But I'm making a whole heap of a lot more money than I was in 2008. And I've got, this truck, and like I said, the things I got to pay for. But if you really believe that I can't get a skid steer, another skid steer if I wanted one, then you're ignorant as hell, man. If you watch the channel and you see the work I put in. What am I doing with all that money? I don't drink. I ain't got a drug habit. I don't go to strip clubs. I don't go to bars. I eat dinner at home every night. I don't go on big boy vacations. What am I doing with all that money, man? Let's get back to the basic fundamentals of the numbers. The numbers don't lie, dude. I mean, stupid, man. Stupid. And then on top of all that, I got a credit score 780, 800. I don't have to have any money to buy anything. I can sign my name up and do whatever I want to do. I could go buy a $100,000 truck if I wanted to. The reason I can do that is because I don't. I'm disciplined. Something that I've seen that some people with what they say, they have big businesses. What I'm seeing is they're not very disciplined with their money. And they want to try to put what they do and try to, align it with what I do, and then they're like, man, it's all off. Something ain't right. Ray ain't telling the truth. Ray, no, what it is you running things a little bit different than me. That's all. And it's hard for you to believe that Chuck can work 5 hours a day and have anything, because you can't. It's the craziest thing I ever seen. So, needless to say, I can get another skid if I want one.